Now there are only 15 results returned, and I can tell from the box cover in the gallery image that this is the item I was looking for. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Chosen Collection. If I look to the right of the display, I can see time ending soonest. This is how the search results are sorted. These are the auctions that are closest to ending. I can change this to search by newly listed, lowest price first, highest price first. I'm not going to change my listing because I only have 15 items listed and I can go through these quite easily. Looking at the price, I see this one's $99.89 as an opening bid with a $100 buy it now price. I know the retail price on this is around $150, so that's a really good price. I'm going to click on this one. I now see a message saying this listing has been removed or is no longer available. Usually, this means that there was a violation of eBay rules and eBay removed the auction from the listings. Sometimes items remain in the search for several minutes after they've been removed. I'm going to click the back button to return to my search results. As I look through here, I see some similar auctions using the same image, the same title, and the same pricing. These are most likely by the same person, so I'm going to skip those. Here's a different auction. This one has 6 bids, and the current bid is $113. I'm going to click on this one to take a closer look. In this auction, I can see my current bid, $113. The end time is in 6 hours and 58 minutes. The shipping cost is listed at $12.95, and that's very reasonable for something this size and weight. This is by U.S. priority mail. There have been 6 bids, and the high bidder has 0 feedback. If I look at the seller's area, I can see who the seller is. I can see they have 3,174 feedback ratings. They're a power seller, and their feedback is shown as 100% positive. They've also been a member since October of the year 2000. They've been a member a long time, and they've also done a lot of buying or selling to build their feedback to over 3,000. I'm going to scroll down and take a closer look at the auction. Because this is a DVD, eBay shows some additional information such as the format on this auction. The seller describes the item being sold. As I scroll down further, I can see the photographs. There are 2 for this auction, the front, which I'm already seeing, and the back, which I can click on to view. If I'd like to see more details, I can click on the larger picture link. Now I can see more details about the condition of the box. As I scroll down, I find the shipping and handling information. Shipping is $12.95, as it stated at the top of the auction, for the United States by priority mail. Shipping insurance is optional for $335. The seller lists his return policy. And in the payment details, I see the seller accepts PayPal. At the very bottom of the auction, I have the opportunity to bid. I'm not going to bid yet. I'm interested in this item, but I want to make sure that I want to buy from this seller. I don't want to get taken by a dishonest seller, and I don't want to buy from someone if their account has been hijacked. I'm going to click on the feedback number to see the seller's feedback. This person has 100% positive feedback. That's extremely good. As I scroll down, I look for ratings mutually withdrawn. This means the buyer and the seller mutually agreed to remove their rating. Sometimes if a dishonest seller receives negative feedback, they'll leave retaliatory negative feedback for the buyer. They will then request that the feedback be mutually withdrawn. The buyer will of course agree because they want the negative removed from their account. Always make sure to check the ratings mutually withdrawn. You do not want to buy from someone who you think has no negatives, but who actually has several negatives that have been removed. It's okay to have some mutually withdrawn. Sometimes there are misunderstandings. For this person to have over 3,000 feedback and no mutually withdrawn is very good. So far I like this seller, but I want to make sure that the person I'm buying from is actually the owner of the account. I'm going to look at some of their older auctions. I see in the past they've sold a Miami Vice Season 3 DVD. This is a good sign about the current auction because it means they have a history of selling TV shows on DVD. Beneath that's the Waltons, Looney Tunes, Futurama. This person sells a large number of DVDs. I'm going to scroll down to an older auction, and I'm going to click on the View Item. This auction is closed. This is one of the old auctions for this seller. But if I scroll down, I can take a look at the auction itself. And looking at this auction, I notice the font size, how it's worded, the type of words that are used, also the color for this particular seller. As I scroll down, I look at the photographs. These photographs look very similar to the one in our current auction, a photograph of the front and of the back, and this seller likes to use the large picture option, which is something you can select when you're posting your auction. So I scroll down further, see the shipping. He has the same return policy, and he accepted PayPal in the past. Also in the auction itself, I'm looking for inconsistencies with the current auction. If this seller had really good grammar in the past, but their current auction has really bad grammar, that's an indication that this account's been hijacked, and I would not want to buy from this person. If this person's previous auctions looked like this, with proper capitalization and proper punctuation, but their new auction is in all capitals, that would indicate also that their account has been hijacked and that the current auction was posted by someone other than the real account owner. If that were the case, then I would not buy from this person. This auction looks good. Now I'm going to go back and take a look at the auction I'm actually interested in by clicking the back button. Now we're back at the original auction. As we scroll down and look at this, you'll see that this auction is very much the same as the auction that was posted several weeks ago by the same seller. I'm interested in bidding on this item, so I'm going to go to the bottom of the page and I'm going to enter my bid. I've already done some web research, and the price is usually around $150 to $175 for this collection. When I checked Amazon, it was $164.99 new. This gives me an idea of the value of this item. Now that I know the retail value for this set is around $164 for a new set, and this seller is offering a new set, I can place my price. There's no reason for me to bid $164 because I can buy it new anywhere for that. I'm going to bid $121.55. Always choose an odd high amount. You never want to bid $99 for an item because anyone bidding $100 could outbid you. You always want to bid an odd high amount. This means if someone else bids $100 and you bid $100.55, you'll win the auction. If the other person bids $100.01, thinking they might outbid anyone bidding $100, you'll still win because your bid will be higher. This is not a guarantee to win, because someone could come along and bid $110, which would be higher than your bid. I've now set up my bid for $121.55. The current bid is $113. You can see to the right it says enter US $115.50 or more. This is higher than the current bid by $2.50. That's the minimum amount that anyone can bid. I could not bid $113.01 and hope to be the next high bidder. You have to bid at least the minimum amount. My bid of $121.55 is higher than this amount. So I'm going to click Place Bid. If you're not already logged in, eBay may ask for your username and password. On the next screen, I confirm my bid. Once I confirm, I'm agreeing to pay for this item if I should win at any price up to my value of $121.55. This is a legal agreement to pay this amount. It's not an expression of interest if I should still want the item. Once I click Confirm Bid, I'm telling the seller that I will pay this amount if I should be the high bidder. If someone else comes along and bids $125, then I will not be responsible for this item. I do want this item, and I'm willing to pay $121.55 plus $12.95 shipping. So I'm going to confirm my bid by clicking on Confirm. I'm now the current high bidder. If the previous bidder had bid more than I put in, I would have received a message immediately saying I had been outbid. Sometimes this happens. eBay uses a bidding system called proxy bidding. This means you do not have to pay your maximum bid. You only have to pay the minimum amount over the second highest bidder. The bid on this item was $113, but the previous bidder put in a bid higher than that. In order to top their bid, eBay bid on my behalf up to $118.05. This is not my maximum of $121, but this is simply the current high bid. If someone else comes along and bids $120, they will automatically be outbid because I've already put in my bid of $121.55. If someone comes along and bids $125, I will be outbid. Now I will wait until the end of the auction. If I am outbid, I will receive an email notification. I've already chosen the maximum price I'm willing to pay, so there's no reason for me to return and rebid. I'm going to let this price ride until the end of the auction, and then we'll see if I win.